All right, let's go. We're heading to the very bottom of the world, to the last real frontier left on our planet, Antarctica. You know, this place is just a continent of extremes. We're talking fire and ice, active volcanoes, and landscapes that are just, well, they're beyond anything you can imagine.
And wow, this quote it nails it. Antarctica isn't just a place you go to see. It's something you feel. It's an experience that hits all your senses at once. It's where you get face to face with the raw, untamed power of nature. And honestly, there's nowhere else on Earth quite like it.
So, that's the big question, right? What does it really take to journey to the end of the Earth? Well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to trace the entire trip, from the really tough challenges to the absolutely incredible rewards. Let's find out what it really means to get to the Great White Continent. Okay, so every epic journey has to have that first big test, right? For Antarctica, that test is a legendary and kind of scary stretch of water. Before you can even think about setting foot on the continent, you've got to earn it. And you earn it by crossing the infamous Drake Passage. Just take a look at the scale of this. It's huge. Once you push off from the tip of South America, there is absolutely nothing but open, wild ocean between you and the first little islands of Antarctica. That huge, empty space on the map? Yeah, that's the Drake Passage. And how big is that gap? 500 miles. Think about that. 500 miles of some of the most unpredictable and, frankly, historically feared waters on the entire planet. It takes about 2 full days to cross, and let me tell you, in those 2 days, you really start to feel just how remote this place is. The funny thing is, the Drake has 2 totally different moods. You might get what they call the Drake Shake, and that's when the Southern Ocean decides to show you who's boss with these massive, colossal waves. Or if you get really, really lucky, you could get the Drake Lake, when the water is just mysteriously, beautifully flat and calm. You never know which one you're going to get. It's a total roll of the dice. So you've done it. You've conquered the Drake, and your first reward, well, it isn't a giant wall of ice like you might think. Nope, it's the sub-Antarctic islands. These are like these incredible gateways to the continent, and each one is a stunning world all on its own. I mean, just look at the difference here. It's night and day. On one side, you've got the Falkland Islands. They're surprisingly green, almost lush, and home to some really cool birds like the striated caracara. Then, you look at the other side. That's South Georgia. It is just an overwhelming wildlife explosion. We're talking beaches literally packed shoulder to shoulder with tens of thousands of king penguins. So yeah, each of these gateways is totally unique. The Falklands, they've got these green, windswept hills and a very distinct British vibe. South Georgia, that's the wildlife powerhouse. You've got these huge glaciers hanging over these enormous colonies of animals. And then you hit the South Shetland Islands. This is it, your first true Antarctic landfall. It's a world of ice, penguins, and yeah, even active volcanoes. And now, we've made it. We're here, the Antarctic Peninsula. This is the part of the continent that's most accessible, and for most people who visit, this is Antarctica. It's just a world of towering peaks, glaciers that spill right into the ocean, and these totally surreal icescapes. And right here, this is one of its crown jewels, the Lemaire Channel. It's this long, narrow passage so tight and squeezed between these super steep cliffs that you feel like you're sailing through a canyon made of pure ice. The water in here is often perfectly still, which makes for some of the most unbelievable photos you'll ever take. And then you drift into a place called Paradise Bay. Honestly, the name says it all. The water here can get so calm, so still, that it turns into a perfect mirror, reflecting every single glacier and mountain peak. And this is a big deal. It's one of the few places where you can actually get off the boat and step onto the mainland Antarctic continent. Okay, now if you want some pure geological drama, you go to Deception Island. This place is wild. It's not just an island, it's the flooded caldera of an active volcano. Ships literally sail through this tiny gap called Neptune's Bellows and anchor inside the volcano. The beaches, they're black sand, and they're geothermally heated. You can actually see steam rising from the shore. It's unreal. So the landscapes are obviously mind-blowing, but that's only half the story. You might think this place is a barren wasteland, but this harsh environment is absolutely teeming with life. Life that has figured out how to not just survive, but thrive in the extreme cold. So what are we talking about? Well, you've got these huge, bustling rookeries of Gentoo, Chinstrap, and Adélie penguins everywhere. Then, on the floating ice, you'll spot these chill Weddell seals, tons of craybeater seals, and, if you're lucky, the top predator of the Antarctic, the formidable leopard seal. And don't forget to look out at the water, because you're almost guaranteed to see the spout from a migrating humpback or minke whale. Okay, but for the really intrepid explorers, the peninsula is just the starting point. There are other parts of Antarctica that are so remote, so incredibly difficult to get to, that they are still some of the least visited places on the entire planet. We're talking about the true deep south, the Ross Sea. They call it the last ocean for a reason. It's home to the planet's biggest ice shelf and Mount Erebus, the world's southernmost active volcano. This is the same territory the heroic age explorers like Scott and Shackleton ventured into. It's considered the most pristine, untouched marine ecosystem left on Earth, period. And then there's this, the ultimate prize, the ceremonial South Pole. Actually reaching the geographic South Pole is just a monumental achievement. To stand right there at 90 degrees south with all the flags of the Antarctic Treaty Nations around you, that's it. You're standing at the very bottom of the world. It's a place of just profound silence and incredible significance. You know, when it comes right down to it, a trip to Antarctica is really a lesson in scale. It forces you to feel truly small when you're up against the immense raw power of the natural world. You get to witness a kind of beauty that's both incredibly harsh and, at the same time, unbelievably fragile. So this leaves us with one final big question. See, Antarctica isn't just some remote, icy wilderness. It's a critical barometer for the health of our entire planet. Its ice holds the secrets of our climate's past, and its future, well, its future is completely tied to our own. So exploring it isn't just an adventure. It's a really powerful reminder of everything we stand to lose.